Hello everybody. Good morning or good afternoon. Welcome to the fourth session of the AINoES Horizon and Beyond. We are delighted to have you here today with us for this session titled Where Innovation Meets Support, Funding and Collaboration Opportunities in Excellent Networks. This session is a part of an initiative designed to help transform ideas into real opportunities within the European AI ecosystem. Today, we will dive into how open calls actually work, what makes a proposal successful, and we will hear concrete examples of organizations already growing and collaborating at a European level. We are pleased to be joined by different representatives from leading AI excellent networks and organizations, including Enfield, Elias, Roca, and Funding Box, who later will share their insights and experience in this kind of projects. I'm sorry if I butcher some name. Following the presentations, we will open the floor for a live Q&A session. So we will encourage you to actually participate and ask your questions and make the most of this opportunity to connect and learn about the different projects and the different participants in this webinar. Whether you're a part of an SME or research institution, innovation ecosystem, and are looking for funding, visibility, strategic partnership, this session is for you. Well, thank you very much all for being here today. And without further ado, let's get started. I will present the participants and their projects. I'll start with Elias, which is the European Lighthouse of AI for Sustainability. And for them, we will have in this webinar Cecilia Stanazzo, as a project manager, and Lisa it's Hammer. I'm sorry, and they will present the call for Elias. Then we have for Funding Box, we have Yolanda Morena, with the project and open call manager. And then for MPhil, we have Mariana Ferreira as the project and open call manager at Innova. And for the Roca project, I will be presenting the project and the different implications for the European ecosystem. So, should I start with the Roca, explain a bit the project? Okay, can you all see the presentation? Okay. Well, this is in Spanish, but the presentation obviously will be in English. The Roca is a Cervera project. Cervera is a national aid program for technological centers here in Spain, and it's an aid that follows technology in different priorities depending on the year. In the past year, it was dual techs and defense. Okay, so what is the Roca project? As I was saying, it's a strategic project framed within the Cervera Grant program, aimed at the developing advanced digital technologies for Industry 5.0, with a strategic focus on emerging challenges in security, defense, and dual tech. The areas of expertise are very diverse. There is strategic initiative development in high relevance technological sectors, including key applications in defense and strategic industrial domains. The project comprehensively addressed emerging challenges in security and technical process modernization, like inspection, quality control, and advanced maintenance, directly tackling current gaps in digitalization and automation in the market. The main objective is to strengthen the national European collaboration ecosystems, connecting research with the business and industrial fabric. That's a very important part in the Cervera grant. Okay, the consortium. Well, the Roca is a cluster of excellence that brings together 7 of Spain's most influential technology centers to consolidate technological and defense sovereignty. I, who is the coordinator, It offers a benchmark in human machine integration, mobile robotics, and XR immersive environments. Then we also have AIN, which are specialists in advanced sensing, automated drone control, and predictive maintenance. Air Institute is also a part of the consortia, which there are leaders in agentic AI, advanced cybersecurity, and post-quantum cryptographic resilience. Then we have IT, experts in large-scale industrial robotics, CDOF metrology, and additive manufacturing. Then CETEM, they're specialized in collaborative automation, IoTs, computer vision, and operator monitoring. And last, we have InScope and Bicomtech. InScope as a specialist in advanced research in soft robotics, flexible materials handling, and tactical footwear. And last, Bicomtech, they are pioneers in physical AI, cognitive vision, dynamic digital twins, and remote rendering. Well, just to make a stop in regarding AINoES role in ROCA, we are the coordinators of the ROCA project. AINoES is a technological center. We are specialized in RDI RDI development and advanced solutions in children's identity and related sectors. But in the past few years, we have expanded our expertise in different areas, including Industry 5.0, robotics, and sensor tech, immersive simulation, and advanced data analysis, coordinating and leading several national and European programs and projects. Well, we're the coordinators, especially in the part of applied technology for advanced robotics, human machine integration, and XR validation in operation environments. We wanted to highlight our knowledge and our know-how in scientific technical infrastructures, XNR immersive validation, and the know-how and transfer. We have several protected methodologies, and we're specialized in software manufacturing, maintenance, immersive simulation, and training, supported by several regulations and international accreditations. Here you also have a few projects, a European project which IHU is part, and we encourage you to follow us in both the social media of IHUs and the ROCA project. Well, ROCA has both an economic and a technological dimension, with more than 15 million euros for global joint investment secured by the Network for Technical Sovereignty. It's a project that has a four-year time lapse. More than 100 researchers for the different technological institutions of the consortium are part of this project, and it ends in 3 operational pilots or demonstrators, which are real-world use cases such as drones, robotics, and technical equipment. Well, one of the most important parts of the ROCA project is enhancing the connection with networks for excellence and the industrial sector. Some of the key points are the lines of national interest. They are aligned with the Cervera priority areas for security and defense, such as advanced mobile networks, ensure robust, low latency, and resilient tactical communications, basically communications. Lines of European interest, like align with the objective of the AI networks of excellence, such the ones we're here today. Technological transfer, they want to close that gap between the research institutions and the market, especially the small and medium-sized enterprises. They also want to acquire technological sovereignty. The project wants to contribute to the development of a robust, secure European AI infrastructure aligned with the international excellence standards. And last, the advanced scientific innovation. They are especially they're researching in agentic AI, resilient cybersecurity, and explainable AI. New training and cooperation opportunities. Well, this project is a key opportunity to attract talent. creating projects and programs to recruit technical profiles for the ecosystem. Also is a new way for opportunities in cooperation. Is an open space for researchers, corporations, and startups that are seeking to generate synergies and participate in future projects development. And also is a call to action. Well, as I was saying, this is a formal invitation to follow us in the ROCA's official challenge, both in social media, but also we have a website. And that was all for the ROCA side and our part. Now we can move on, and I can present the next speaker in this webinar, which are going to be Elias, if I'm not wrong, if I'm not mistaken, which is they are the European Lighthouse for AI for Sustainability, and we have two participants with us today.
Hi, I'll just start with sharing my screen. Do you see my slides? I don't see you anymore, but
Yes, we can see them.
thank you. Okay, well, thank you for having us. There's going to be two speakers on our side, me and Lisa. But I'll start with giving you a general overview of what we do in AINoES. We are the European Lighthouse of AI for Sustainability. Let's see how these go. Okay. These are just some key numbers about our projects. We are a European project, and we started actually in 2023. We are now almost in the middle of the project. We're ending in 2027, but you can see here that we have 35 partners based in 17 countries. So we are a big group of different partners coming from almost all around Europe. We received this figure of funding, and we are also part of this is going to be shared with other organizations that are not part of our project through the open call, which I will explain later. This is just some general information about what we do in AINoES. You can see here on the left, we have three main research spheres. So we have the AI for Sustainable Society, AI for Sustainable Planet, and Trustworthy AI for Individuals. These are the three main areas of research we are pursuing in our project. And there are some other aspects which we could probably are more focused for today, which is the AI Lighthouse we are building, and then the support and relationship with industry, which is also really important. There's one third part, which is not a focus for today, but it's still one of our main areas, is the support for the next generation. So the young talents, we have a PhD program through the AINoES network, which is something that we're really closely connected to. These are the 7 use cases we have in our project. You can see that they actually are really connected to our 3 main research areas, but they're spanning also over that. This will be important later on in the presentation. One thing that would be interesting regarding our project is what we are actually doing in the sense of collaboration. At the moment, as I was saying, we are 35 partners, but we are looking in creating these, in enlarging this virtual center of excellence. We are a network of excellence, so the idea is that the research we're doing, we don't want to keep it only for our 35 partners, but to enlarge this network. The Virtual Center of Excellence is then an interdisciplinary network, which is embedded within this AINoES ecosystem. And what we want to do is to strengthen the coordination of European top AI institutions, while also extending the reach and the impact of AINoES across Europe. This expansion is we place for this expansion, we place a strong emphasis on the scientific quality regarding the topics that we are researching on, so sustainability, trustworthiness, and then there's some aspects which we are interested in, so the interdisciplinarity, gender balance, and also the geographical inclusion. In this sense, we are presenting particular attention to the unrepresented regions in Eastern and Southern Europe. What we're aiming to do with this expansion of the network is to strengthen Europeans' leadership in high impact, sustainable, and trustworthy AI, fostering then long-term collaboration, innovation, and alignment with the European values. So what we're doing now is inviting you all to join our virtual center of excellence and contributing to shaping the future of what we believe is sustainable AI. These are the new members. They have just joined. This is a preview. We're announcing the results this week, but you can see here that there are some new partners, and they're all connected to AINoES Unit, as the first call for to join the last virtual center was mostly directed to AINoES units. But you can see there are different institutions all across Europe. Again, there's going to be a next call to join our virtual center of excellence, and this is going to be in the fall. We will sending you maybe more information. You can also check our website to get this information, and we will be happy also to answer to some questions later about what you can get in our virtual center. The next step, as I was saying before, is the relationship with industry. At the moment, we have had two AINoES open calls. These open calls are open to SMEs, startups, NGOs that are presenting their projects related to what we're doing in AINoES. Here you can see some data. On the top, there's a number of applications per UC. Each applicant had to prepare this project that's going to receive 60K funding from our from AINoES, and you can see here that they try to connect to one of our different use cases. As I was saying, the organizations that could apply were SMEs, startups, NGOs, and then on the right you can see that there's a big group coming from Italy, Spain, Greece, but then it's actually spanning, the applications actually span all throughout Europe. Here are some information. We received 285 applications because the deadline was at the end of May. And we're going to select 4 winners. We are still in the evaluation phases, but I mean, for us it was a great result. And what these 4 applicants are going to win this funding, they will present. They will work on their projects for a 6-month period, and they will be followed by one of our research members, and we will try to focus on what their project are aiming to do, and also try and strengthen the impact of what they're trying within our network. I'll leave the floor to Lisa.
Thank you, Cecilia. So I'm the AINoES Alliance coordinator. The AINoES Alliance is part of the AINoES project, and it is it is an alliance which will build up an entrepreneurship pillar for AINoES. It has, like you can see, 3 kind of pillars here for the AINoES Alliance: Open Pipeline, the Innovation PhD, and the AI Launchpad. So the Open Pipeline is more about like reducing the fragmentation, getting standards set. It's also linking to like other European projects like Open Euro, LLM, and Elliot for getting more efficient development of AI models. The second pillar is a new PhD format, which is currently in development. It would maybe be called then Innovation PhD, we will see, and new under the AINoES network. So the idea would be to work backwards from the normal PhD, not from like a question you pose yourself in a scientific world and then you have some outcome that might be relevant for somebody, but actually work backwards from real world impact. Something has to change in real world and then you work backwards. That would be the idea. And we also have formats right now in AINoES in the project, like the Transformative Technologies Summer School of the HPI. That is, I think it will be the next one. Cecilia, do you know exactly the date? Check, but you can apply till late August.
Going to happen. Yeah, it's going to happen in late August. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you can still apply to late August, so that's a really good chance. It says like how to go to be a CTO or how to become a CTO. So to really get engaged in entrepreneurship from the PhD side. And the third pillar is the AI Launchpad, and it's an exchange program of different startups, like a pan-European pathway for the startups. So we have like these different alliance nodes. I'm going to show you in the next slide then, and they can exchange their startups. So the startups have a chance to look into the ecosystem of a different country most of the time, and then also see if their market entry is possible there, for example, or if you can get funding there. And there is like they go on an internship, kind of not an internship, it's actually a real exchange program where they learn what the ecosystem is like there. So the Alliance is about building that entrepreneurship pillar. I think we can go to the next slide. So for the first three boxes, you see what you just saw as the pillars. And then we also have like an award we give every year. And we have, of course, like all the organizational part, we have annual conferences and so on. And you can see right now we have 8 nodes. Most of the time, we are not calling them just like the academic institution, because they most of the time include several academic institutions in a city, and also the ecosystem, the entrepreneurship ecosystem, meaning like non-academic partners, like companies or venture firms. So right now you see these 8, and you can see in the progress markers at the bottom that we are right now when you see the 2022, actually in the middle, you can see that we have the second call for notes ongoing. There's interest in that, and we have received several applications, and it's still open, the call, till the 5th of July. I think we can go to the next slide for the. So you can see here you have a QR code for the AINoES notes, for the call of proposals. It just for the criteria, you have to have 3 Alice fellows backing that the proposal you hand in. So I think that's an important thing to know. And it's also important to know that this is a collaboration opportunity. It's not funding. Just in the AINoES Alliance, there is no funding in it. It has a lot of benefits. And I can point them out now, or I can point them out with the questions we had proposed. I think I can point them out now. It's like well, yes, it is that closely connected to the Alice network. It has this excellent science, and now we are also getting like these sites that have excellent transfer opportunity, like transfer to entrepreneurship opportunities. It's like the learning from each other, and it has that mobility side of exchanging actually the people between the nodes. And we have these joint programs, like, for example, we're setting up a venture sprint, thinking about that right now, but maybe between 3 nodes. We have that summer school, for example, we have the AI Launchpad. So there are several benefits to it, but not funding.
Well, thank you so much, both of you. You can ask them more questions in the Q&A session, and they can answer about the funding and how can benefit your project, this network. But now we're gonna welcome Yolanda Moreno from Funding Box. She's gonna be our next speaker.
Thanks a lot, Selene. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me here. I will present a bit about Funding Box and also about the AINoES project. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So, well, what is Funding Box? Funding Box is now the leading European distributor of cascade funding or financial support to third parties or non-refundable grants. We provide a comprehensive open call management, ensuring that our partners are fully supported with all the compliance, legal, and communication services if needed. To give you an idea of our scale, we have 230 millions in cascade funding under management, and over the history of Funding Box, we have attracted 45,000 applicants and supported more than 2,000 companies, beneficiaries of the open calls and accelerated startups. If you are interested in find more opportunities, you can check our platform. That in this platform, all the financial support to third parties opportunities that we are managing are centralized, and also you can find other opportunities that are not managed by Funding Box. We are very active in the AI ecosystem, and in the past we have managed very significant projects related to AI, for example, AI for EU, Bonds Apps, Stairway, Elise. So we have a lot of experience in open calls related to AI. This about Funding Box, I will spend a bit more time explaining a bit about the AI Edge. The AIH project is a network of excellence dedicated to creating, distribute trustworthy and scalable AI at the edge. This project is a highly collaborative effort that brings together 36 partners from 15 countries, and the project operates a total budget of 14 million. The coordinator is DFKI from Germany, and Funding Box role here is, as usually, facilitate the FSTP within this innovative ecosystem. And how did we distribute this FSTP? As you can see here, the timeline for distribute these funds was divided in two main tracks. The first one was the research stream that launched the first open call for exchange programs that was launched in September, October 24. And the second track, it was the industry stream that features the second and third open calls for collaborative projects, and these open calls happened in January, February 25 and August, September 25. About the first open call, it was a great initial open call. We have 146 applications started that resulted at the end in 36 final submissions from 21 different countries. And at the end, 10 researchers were selected and received 60K in funding to participate in a 7-month exchange program within the hosting institutions that were institutions that are partners of the AIH project. In the second open call, the numbers jump significantly. It's different type of open call, and we have 529 applications started, 236 submitted from 33 countries. Here, the participants have to select a challenge to apply for, and the challenge most selected by applicants was smart and adaptive AI agents at the edge. At the end, we have 10 projects selected that receive up to 60K for a 7-month support program to develop their projects. And the third open call, we reached a final number of 277 final submissions from 39 countries. Here we have a lot of SMEs applying, and the top challenge selected was health monitoring AI for edge devices with privacy first. It's important to say here, talking about research, that these two final open calls allow to apply with a very low TRL, technological readiness level. So this allowed the participation of very early stage research. And well, more or less, this is all from my side. if in the questions there is anything else you want to know.
Well, thank you so much, Yolanda. Before going on to our next speaker, I will encourage everyone to leave your questions in the chat because once we finish this section, we will go into the Q&A session, and so it can be interesting. So you can share your questions in the chat, and then we can talk about them. So our next speaker is going to be Mariana Ferreira, representing Enfield, and she's a project and open call manager at Innova Plus. So okay. We see your presentation.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And you can see my screen as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Hello, everyone. Good morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. My name is Mariana Freire. I'm here representing the Infield project. Our role in Innova, we are a consortium partner, but we also oversee the open call management and the communication, dissemination, and exploitation activities of the project. Okay, so before I explain exactly what Infield is, I'm just going to give you a few notes on the consortium, for example. So the Infield project is quite a large project in terms of the partners that preface its consortium. So we have 30 partners across 18 countries, and you can see it here on the map how it spans across Europe. And the project's timeline is of 36 months. So it started in 2023, and it's about to end this year at the end of the year. And it was funded under this topic called Horizon Europe called Human 0202, which is a European network of AI excellence centers expanding the European AI Lighthouse. And that also explains a little bit why the project is called European Lighthouse to manifest trustworthy and green AI. Okay, so what is Infield's mission? Okay, very quickly. So Infield aims to create a European center of excellence, and it has two main vertents of activity, which are conducting foundational research, but also applied research. In terms of the foundational research, it aims to excel in fundamental research areas that are considered new, strategic to the European Union in terms of advancing the AI sector. And these are what we call the research pillars. You can see them here in the image vertically. And those are adaptive, green, human-centric, and trustworthy AI. But also beyond that, like I said, Enfield also intends to respond to industry challenges by conducting top-level research, applied research in several areas, which we call the industrial domains, and you can see them in the image horizontally, which are the healthcare, energy, manufacturing, and space industrial domains. Overall, what Enfield is trying to do is really to pool the best resources from world-class research and industry players as well in Europe. And the main goals are really to improve EU's competitiveness in the AI sector, but also to create social economical impact for the benefit of European citizens and businesses. Some more transversal, let's say, objectives are to promote collaboration amongst stakeholders, so reduce the silos that exists between the stakeholders in the AI sector, especially between universities, research centers, and industry players, and also contribute to policy development and regulation at European level. So by promoting collaboration and reducing the silos, the big objective is to really understand what are the challenges in the sector and how to overcome them, and then provide actionable, let's say, recommendations for policy makers. Okay, and so how is Infill doing all of this? Okay, so in its mission to advance both foundational research but also applied research, the Infill project has a structured program of open calls for financial support. Okay, and these calls are strategically designed to mobilize AI excellence through two complementary mechanisms. So one of them is the exchange scheme, which is officially called third-party exchange scheme, and then the innovation schemes, which are third-party innovation schemes. And they are both different in nature. So the first one, the TES, is focused on foundational AI research and is a mobility grant for individual researchers or groups of researchers. And the main goal is to help them with the host institution from the Infield Consortium to implement a research project between 3 to 6 months. And in total, we had 4 open calls for this, and at least 76 researchers were funded, which was our main goal initially. And then for the innovation scheme, these are applied research projects. So there's a grant. The grant is usually larger per project because the goal is to produce AI-driven solutions, and it's destined to legal entities. But the methodology of implementation is similar. There's a host institution also from the consortium, and the projects go up to 6 months. And in total, there were 2 calls for this one, and at least 18 projects were funded. But I will give you more concrete data on this in the next slide. But just to give you an idea that overall 6 open calls were hosted by the Infill project. Okay, so in terms of results, you can see them here. These are the number of researchers funded under each of the Infield open calls, and they are separated by research pillar and in industrial domains. We usually have a lot of applications for the trustworthy AI in the research pillar, and then also in the industrial domains, usually energy and manufacturing is quite popular. But just to give you an overall idea that we were able to actually provide a mobility grant for 76 researchers and fund 62 of these exchange projects. And in terms of the innovation schemes, we were able to fund 19 projects, which corresponds to 22 entities. In regards to the exploitable results of the Infill project, so some of them are directly related to these schemes, both the exchange and the innovation schemes. Like I said, since they are different in nature, this also means that the exploitable outcomes are also different. So, for example, for the exchange schemes, usually the outcomes are more focused on research itself, so scientific publications. But when it comes to the innovation ones, it's more likely that the outcome would be, for example, a new model or prototype or a data set. But yeah, in that case, it's more like an AI product that can actually be commercialized and then scaled up. But then, like I said, AI policy standards and guidelines are also very important for the Infield project. Okay, so by promoting these collaborations, we intend to understand what are the challenges and how can we overcome them by reducing the silos that exists between the stakeholders, and then pass on this valuable information to policy makers, for example. But there's also a lot of training material that is coming out of the Infield project from the activities that are conducted under the other work packages as well. And if you're interested, you can access some of these researchers, sorry, some of this research on the InField portal. Okay, so this is a digital community for people working in AI or that are interested in AI, and it brings together experts, researchers, and other stakeholders, and gives them access to knowledge and contacts, research labs, and learning materials. So if this is something that interests you, you can access the portal through this QR code. And then to finalize, I would like to just provide here a formal invitation to the InField Final Conference. So since the project is ending this year, the InField Consortium is holding its final conference on the 7th and 8th of July in Brussels. So this is going to be quite a big event. The participation is open to everyone, and you can register on the InField website if you're interested. But there's a lot of different types of stakeholders that are going to be invited. All of the beneficiaries from the project are also invited, and there's some interesting speakers. So we would like to invite you to take a look, and if you're interested, please register for the event. And yeah, that's more or less an overview of the InField project, that I will be glad to answer your questions as well later on. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mariana. That was really interesting. We're moving to the Q&A part of the session. If there is no, if if anyone wants to participate, the floor is open for you. But in any case, we have a few questions that can be really interesting for you. I'm gonna start with Elias with the first one, and just briefly, you were talking in your presentation about the benefits of joining the alliance. I don't know if you wanna go on a bit more about that and maybe explain the procedure or the way that new organization can become part of the virtual center briefly.
You mean of the alliance? I think
Yes,
become part
sorry.
of the alliance.
Mhm.
Okay, so we have we had a first node call, and we have now the second node call. As I said, it's ongoing till the 5th of July. And if you want to apply, you just have to go on the website, and there you see my email address, and then you can write me, and then I send you the application material, which will it's focused at that you represent why your node has an ecosystem that would good that would work for entrepreneurship, like promoting entrepreneurship. So you have to be on the one side good in scientific excellency, but you have to be also good in promoting entrepreneurship. And if you have that ecosystem built up, like we have non-academic advisors, and you have academic advisors like Alice Fellows, at least three on your site, then you can hand in the application forms. And I think that the benefits are, sometimes not every scientific institution so far supports transfer in the same way and entrepreneurship. So I think the main benefit is that we are connecting the nodes, the places where actually there is a real strong interest in pushing entrepreneurship forward. And then these connect, these nodes pushing forward, they connect and they get this exchange on experience, but they also work together on programs. For example, like with the AI Launchpad, that exchange of startups where they can experience a totally different ecosystem with mentors there and with access to the market there in a different country.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, thank you so much. That was really interesting. I will follow with Yolanda. You were when you were explaining the funding box. It's mainly, if I did understand correctly, economic an economic instrument. But maybe you can explain what do applicants look in an open call, which are the benefits, and beyond the economic contributions, which are the most appealing ones for them.
Yeah, sure. Well, I think this is connected to the previous answer also. It's not
Mm-hmm.
only the economical appeal of the open call. There are other non-economic benefits that I think are highly appealing to the applicants. One of these is the support program. Beyond the funding, the selected applicants usually participate in a structured support program with experts from the consortium, and this expert could provide a really significant expertise to their project. So this will help them a lot in the development of the project. Also, I think that is really important, the access to networking and access to the other partners in the ecosystem, because usually the projects offer, like, let's say, access to this collaborative ecosystem that can connect the beneficiaries with some elite partners like research institutes, universities, and maybe industrial partners, depending on the kind of application. And even in some open calls, you can have business acceleration or investment readiness programs linked to the support program. So I think that this is also important in some open calls. It's a good thing that the beneficiaries will find.
Okay, thank you so much. And just to don't like so we don't go over one because it's supposed to not to be too long. I will ask now Mariana. Regarding you were explaining about the exchange schemes, about your program that you were telling that they offer mobility allowance for researchers to work within MPhil partners organization. So, for example, how is the geographic and institutional diversity of the selected researchers? Are researchers from lower research intensity countries represented? How are um, how are your policies and how those researchers affect in your program?
Yes, thank you so much for that question.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there's a very high, I would say, overall representation of these lower research intensity. How the Commission refers to them officially is the widening countries. But yes, it's first of all, it's quite consistent with the composition of the consortium itself. So you can see that around 40% of the partners from the infield consortium itself are from these widening countries. But there's also a large representation of these countries in the selected beneficiaries. For example, the representation is quite significant in our first open call for the exchange scheme. So we had about 40% of the selected applications coming from these widening countries. And on the first open call for the innovation schemes, it was actually more than half of the applicants that were selected came from the widening countries. And this includes researchers and organizations from widening countries, both within the EU but also beyond. From the EU widening, for example, we had beneficiaries from Cyprus, Estonia, Greece, Hungary, Portugal, Romania, and Slovenia, but there were also other non-EU countries represented, such as Turkey, Montenegro, Serbia, and others. But just to give you an idea that, in fact, yes, they are very well represented. And it's one of the biggest in-field goals is really to include all of these stakeholders in this process of making the AI sector a lot more robust. And this includes involving everyone.
Well, thank you. That was really interesting. Now, to conclude, I would like to congratulate and also to thank all the speakers that joined this webinar. And just to like a quick thank to Cecilia from Elias and Lisa from Elias, also Yolanda from Funding Box and Mariana from Innova Plus. And we'll encourage you to check and follow them, the projects and the programs explained in their social media, and also check their websites. That can be really interesting for your organization. And yes, just to close up, a big thank you to all the participants and the speakers for joining us today. The contributions to the program were really inspiring, and we hope you enjoy it and that it led on to new opportunities for collaboration and growth. So thank you so much to all of you.